Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into the lives of two extraordinary women from Assam.
Really extraordinary.
One, a 17th century noblewoman, Joymoti Konwari, known for her incredible sacrifice.
What true icon.
The other, Aideu Handique, the first Assamese film actress.
A pioneer in her own right.
Now, they're separated by centuries, but their stories have some really fascinating parallels.
And we're going to uncover those connections.
We'll see how both women challenge societal expectations in their own time.
And the impact their actions had.
To really understand their stories, though, we need to start with the Ahom dynasty.
6 centuries they ruled Assam.
Exactly. But for this deep dive, we're zeroing in on the reign of Sulikfa, better known as Lora Roja, the Boy King.
Lora Roja's reign. Not exactly known for its peace and quiet.
Not at all. He was heavily influenced by his minister, Laluksala Borphukon.
Laluksala Borphukon orchestrated the purge of the princes.
Brutal power grab, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Eliminating threats to Lora Roja's rule.
A dark period full of violence and fear.
And that's the backdrop for Joymoti's story.
Joymoti Konwari was married to Gadapani, an Ahom prince.
She was known for her virtues, truthfulness, courage, patriotism, everything.
But when the purge of the princes started, things changed drastically. On Joymoti's advice, Gadapani escaped to the Naga Hills.
Seeking safety.
And here's something interesting.
Oh.
Records tell us that a Naga woman named Dalimi sheltered him.
Dalimi. You know, that detail is fascinating for so many reasons. First, it shows that even during conflict, there can be compassion between communities.
Right, a Naga woman helping an enemy prince.
It also tells us about how different communities in Assam were connected back then.
And this detail, it adds another layer to Joymoti's story.
It does, doesn't it?
She's not just a wife protecting her husband. She's living in a world where loyalties are complicated, alliances can shift.
Exactly. It's a much more complex picture than we might initially imagine.
But for Joymoti, her husband's escape had some very serious consequences.
Lora Roja's forces, they were furious. Couldn't find Gadapani, so they captured Joymoti.
They took her to Jarengapather.
And subjected her to torture. Tried to force her to tell them where her husband was hiding.
I read that they used the thorny Katkora plant to inflict pain.
Imagine the cruelty she endured.
I know, it's just awful.
But through it all, Joymoti refused to betray her husband, even after 14 days of relentless torture.
Unwavering loyalty. It's heartbreaking, but incredibly inspiring at the same time.
Tragically, she died from her injuries after those 2 weeks.
It makes you wonder, was it all in vain?
Not at all. Her sacrifice, far from meaningless.
Because Gadapani found out what happened.
He did. He learned about his wife's incredible devotion, and, well, that's when he decided to return to Assam.
He came back to overthrow Lora Roja.
He did. Rallied support, overthrew Lora Roja, and became King Gadahar Singha.
Bringing stability and prosperity to Assam.
Joymoti's sacrifice, it really did save the kingdom.
But her story doesn't end there.
Oh, definitely not. Even today, she's remembered and honored in Assam. Sati Joymoti Divas, that's celebrated every year on March 27th.
To commemorate her sacrifice.
And King Gadahar Singha, to show his love and respect, he Joy Sagar tank.
Right at the site of her torture.
Exactly. And it's the largest man-made lake in India. A beautiful tribute.
And then there's the Joydal Temple, that pyramid-shaped structure with her golden idol.
It's amazing, isn't it, how her story continues to inspire people all these centuries later.
These memorials, they're more than just physical structures.
Oh, absolutely.
They represent her lasting impact on Assamese culture and identity. She embodies courage, resilience, qualities that still resonate today.
Absolutely. And that brings us to the woman who brought Joymoti's story to a whole new audience.
Aideu Handique.
The first to play Joymoti on screen. It's amazing how Joymoti's story is both tragic and inspiring, you know?
Yeah, definitely. It makes you think about how society views those who challenge the norms.
Absolutely. Like, do we really celebrate those who go against the grain, or do we punish them?
Exactly. And that leads us perfectly to Aideu Handique. She played Joymoti in that first Assamese film, Joymoti.
Back in 1935, right? Directed by the visionary Jyoti Prasad Agarwala.
That's right. And it brought Joymoti's story to a whole new audience.
But portraying this iconic figure on screen, that wasn't easy.
I bet it wasn't. What kind of challenges did she face?
Well, here's where the parallels between Joymoti and Aideu get really interesting. See, while Joymoti was celebrated for her defiance, Aideu faced a huge social backlash for just acting in the film.
So wait, she was ostracized for portraying a woman who was famous for breaking norms?
Pretty much, yeah. It's ironic, isn't it?
It's a bit like society wants to praise these figures from a distance.
But when someone tries to bring their story to life, that's when the resistance starts.
It shows that societal progress isn't a straight line, does it?
Not at all. We might celebrate someone like Joymoti, but then turn around and shun those who try to, I don't know, keep her story alive.
Right, and this was the 20th century, not that long ago.
Makes you wonder, are we really that much better now at accepting women who challenge the status quo?
Aideu's experience, it really echoes Joymoti's struggles all those centuries ago. It's kind of depressing, actually.
It is, yeah. And it raises some important questions, like how do we truly acknowledge and remember trailblazers? Especially women.
Yeah, it's like we need to move beyond just statues and memorials.
Exactly. And author Aideu Handique, she actually criticizes the government for not doing enough to recognize both Joymoti and Aideu.
Which is interesting because we're still having this conversation today, right?
We are. How do we ensure that trailblazers, particularly women, get the recognition they deserve? Not just from institutions, but from society as a whole.
It's a complex issue. I mean, it makes me think about all those women throughout history whose contributions have been completely overlooked or just forgotten.
Exactly. And how many more are out there just waiting to be rediscovered? I think that's something to really think about.
So the stories of Joymoti and Aideu, they really show us how much work we still have to do when it comes to gender equality, right?
Yeah. They teach us about societal progress, about how we value those who challenge the norm, about recognizing everyone who dares to push boundaries no matter who they are.
So we've been exploring these fascinating parallels, right, between Joymoti Konwari and Aideu Handique.
Two women from different times, yet united by their defiance.
It really makes you think about how much progress we've actually made, you know?
Yeah.
Societal progress.
Yeah, it's complicated, isn't it? We build memorials, celebrate anniversaries, but when someone tries to bring those stories to life, like Aideu did, suddenly it's a problem.
It's like society wants to control how those stories are told and who gets to tell them.
Right. Who has the right to speak? Whose voices get silenced? It's a question that comes up again and again throughout history, especially when it comes to women challenging the status quo.
And this criticism from Jyoti Prasad Agarwala about the government not recognizing Joymoti and Aideu enough, well, it just proves we're still dealing with these issues today.
Exactly. It's not just about official recognition either. It's about how we engage with these stories as individuals. It's about challenging those old narratives that have kept certain voices hidden for so long.
So to sum up, we've got Joymoti, whose sacrifice helped overthrow a tyrant and bring a new era to Assam.
And then we have Aideu, who broke barriers and helped the Assamese film industry blossom.
But it makes you wonder, how many other stories are out there, hidden or forgotten?
Countless, probably. It's a little daunting when you think about it, all those untold stories.
It is, but it also makes you want to dig deeper, ask questions, uncover those lost voices.
Right, like who are the unsung heroes and heroines in your own community, in your own field? How can we make sure their contributions aren't erased from history?
Because history, it's more than just facts and dates. It's a tapestry of lives, of struggles and triumphs.
Exactly, and when we uncover those hidden stories, especially the ones that have been marginalized or forgotten, that's how we gain a richer understanding of ourselves, of the world.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, we're leaving you with a challenge. Keep exploring, keep questioning. Don't be afraid to dig deeper.
Because you never know what you might find. Sometimes the most amazing discoveries are the ones we least expect.
Thanks for joining us on this journey. Until next time, remember, history is full of surprises, and it's up to all of us to uncover them.
See you then.